Hey College and Career Success, welcome to week 15. It is hard to believe, but we are done next week. So these are your final reminders. We are almost to that point. Your student services assignment is due, and it is due by the end of next week. And as a reminder, week 16 ends on a Friday. So we are done, and you can see the end dates on week 16. It will open early, and I'll get to that in a second. But Friday, May 8th is when our entire course is completely over. And so that is week 16 is wrapped up. Your student services assignment is due. All of that. I also just want to make sure that you are aware, in the couple weeks previous to this, we've had week 1 reopen and week 2 reopen. Week 3 will be reopened this coming weekend, so you'll see those dates adjusted here by the time you see this, that you can get in and work on any assignments that you worked from week 3 if you may have missed them way back at the beginning of the semester. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, take advantage of week 3 reopening. Finally, week 16 will open early, so you can see May 1st is a Friday, so that way you still have a full week. So I do ask that you complete week 15 first, get everything from week 15 done, and then go ahead and move into week 16 so that you can, if you want, wrap up the semester early. So just be mindful of all that. That'll be in my announcements as a reminder. All right, let's go ahead and jump into week 15. So week 15 is based on chapter 11. As always, the lecture video is already loaded in there, and you can also spend some time in the text or the slides. But here's what you're doing this week. It's another typical week. You have an chapter 11 discussion board due by Wednesday for your attendance, and you have 2 assignments due Sunday. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what these look like. So your chapter 11 discussion prompt. Chapter 11 is all about your overall health, kind of your physical, mental, emotional health. And so the prompt says, are your eating and sleeping habits currently affecting your ability to have a super successful college experience? So think about that first. What are your eating and sleeping habits? Are they positive? Do you know that they need some work? How are they impacting your academic life? And then describe the health and wellness changes the commitment to being clean and to eating clean and sleeping well will bring about, and how you will benefit in the short and long term. So if you needed to make diet changes, or you need to get on a better sleeping schedule, or maybe you can talk about exercise, anything like that. Are there those little things that can make a difference in your academics? For instance, I know personally I don't get enough sleep. I tend to stay up fairly late and then get up pretty early. And so I know my sleep schedule is probably impacting my ability to just kind of focus in the morning for the first little bit of time while I'm kind of groggy. And I know that I would maybe be more productive in the morning if I got more sleep. So things like that. So talking about, do you need to change your eating? Are you eating more junk food or fast food or vending machine food because you're busy and you have, so much going on? Are you kind of not sleeping great like myself? So think about those changes and what that might look like. Or on the flip side, talk to us about how you've mastered it. Let someone learn from you what you've been able to incorporate into your life with your eating or sleeping, or those kind of habits. So that's what you're going to focus on. So post your original response by Wednesday, respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. All right, then you have a chapter 11 assignment. It's called Make a Habit, Break a Habit. You're going to open it up, and it's going to open up into a doc here. And now this is something that says over 4 weeks. So obviously this is more like something to think through. And if you put it into action, that's great. So you want to try to think of, in 4 weeks time, a healthy habit you can make and an unhealthy habit you could break. So, and it gives a couple examples up here, parking farther away so you get more steps, drinking 1 more bottle of water a day, unhealthy habits, something that you can kind of get rid of. So, and you can pair them if you want. So let's say one of the things you want to do is maybe read more. Unhealthy habit to break is less screen time. So you can pair them like that. You want to drink more water, and then you want to drink less pop. So you can make them match, or they don't have to be connected whatsoever. So think about 4 healthy habits you want to make, and they can kind of tie into what your discussion post might focus on. Are you trying to change your eating or your sleeping patterns, your exercise patterns, and then what kind of unhealthy habits do you think you could get rid of? After you fill the table out, there's just some questions that you will complete. How will you remind yourself about your habits? Are you going to use Post-it notes, reminders in your phone? Are you going to have an accountability partner? What if you forget about it? What if all of a sudden a couple days go by and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a bottle of water at all? Something like that. What do you plan? What's your plan to kind of recoup that? How would you feel if you're able to make or break the habits for good? And how would your life be different? Also, how would you feel if you weren't able to do those things? And then what obstacles might prevent you? For instance, I work full-time. I have 3 kids who are involved in 500 things. I sit on a lot of boards in my community, so that kind of impacts my ability to go to bed at a decent time. So like that's an obstacle for me. It's just I have so much going on. So what might be an obstacle for you to like make a healthy habit or to break an unhealthy habit? So make sure you save that and upload it when you're all done. And then of course, as always, you will also have a quiz for the chapter. Just remember, make sure you're answering all parts of the question, 2 to 5 complete sentences. So the first one deals with sleep. If you had to create a flyer about the importance of sleep, what kind of information would you include? 2 is talking about stress relief. Do you have a routine? What has worked for you in the past? What's something new that you would like to try based on what they talk about in our chapter? Question 3 is like a mixture of your opinion, but also evidence from the text. So like what mental health disorder do you think is most common among college students, and evidence from the textbook and personal experience. So you can talk about like stress, anxiety, depression, anything like that, like the mental health issues most common during college, and why do you think so, and how can your opinion be supported in the textbook? What are the 3 types of exercise mentioned in the chapter, and what are the benefits of each type of exercise? So please be mindful of this. I've had some students come up with some interesting responses to this, I should say. They kind of just like pick out very random answers, but I'm going to even show you real quickly. You're going to find where you go to physical health, you'll scroll down a little bit, exercise, boom, 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 1, 2, 3. So that's what you're going to focus on for that question. So just real quickly, what are they, and just the benefits of each. And then how can you recognize when someone is using drugs or alcohol, and if you think it's becoming problematic, what can you do? So again, make sure that you submit this by Sunday as well. So real quick recap of our week and just the reminders again. Make sure that you are submitting your original post for attendance by Wednesday, respond to 2 classmates by Sunday, get your Chapter 11 assignment, the Make or Break a Habit, and the Chapter 11 quiz by Sunday as well. Please get your student services assignment workshop submitted. Remember, attend and submit that workshop. Week 3 will reopen this Friday, Saturday, Sunday for you to make up any work that you may have missed from earlier in the semester. And finally, week 16 is opening early on Friday, May 1st, and will close. The entire course ends Friday, May 8th. If you have any questions or need anything, let me know. Have a great week.